I'm Josh Martinez of New York's #1 hit music station, Z100 and iHeartRadio, with my guest at this time, a legitimate living legend, Billy Gunn.
A legitimate living legend, one that's still upright and able to do stuff.
I just want you to know, and this is a compliment, but I also think it's bullshit, because I'm my age of 33 and I look the way I do, and you're your age and you look the way you do. How the hell do you do that, bro?
Dude, it's just it's consistency and being on point with your diet and your training. I mean, like, it took me a while to figure it out, but I've kind of got it all dialed in. So when you have it all dialed in, you can pretty much do whatever you want to do. So I'm pretty good.
For someone who's lacking motivation, because that's my issue right now, right? What would you what kind of is there a tip or a little bit of a nugget you could drop to kind of get motivation going?
Yeah, if you lack in motivation, it's good to find a partner that is kind of has the same interests, so it holds you accountable. Like, I feel like me and the boys, now that I work with my two sons, we hold each other accountable at the gym. I'm a dedicated gym goer anyway, so I kind of keep them on track. And then when I have those days, I mean, I do have those days where I don't want to do anything. I want to lay around and sulk in all my injuries. But they hold, we go to the gym at a certain time in the morning. Usually it's around 10 o'clock. So, I mean, we hold each other accountable. And then once you get in the gym, we're just good to go. I mean, that's all it is.
So I spoke to Bobby Lashley the other day, and he mentioned that he actually makes his bed the moment he wakes up, because that's kind of get him into a routine. So he knows, if I make my bed, I got to now brush my teeth, and then now eat my breakfast, the exact same meal, and then I have to go to the gym. So he has his challenge is a routine, which sounds relatively similar to yours. I mean, in the aspect of going.
Yeah, it is. And different people find different things to do. I mean, it's like Wild Kingdom around my house. So I get up before my wife. So I let the dog, that's my routine. I get up, I let the dogs out, they do their thing. I feed my iguanas and the bird, and then I feed myself, and then I put everybody away, and then I go to the gym. So that's what my routine.
So you mentioned earlier, Austin and Colton, your two sons, all part of the Gun Club. How much fun has it been working with your sons over the last year or so?
It's amazing. It really is. I mean, I'm lucky enough to have an awesome career, and I figured by now maybe I'd be retired and be able just to coach and do my thing. And there they go. They dragged me right back in. But it's been amazing. It really has. And I enjoy what I do. And the funny thing is, me and the boys always had this thing: if they graduate college, they can do whatever they want. I would help them with that. So our deal was always they had to graduate from college first. And both did that. And then all of a sudden they both wanted to wrestle. And I knew Austin would always want to do it, because he's me just amplified 100, if you can believe that. And Colton has his thing that he does, but it's been amazing, and it's a great way to cap it, and an awesome career that I've had.
Now that you're working at AEW, you're working with younger talent, you have a pretty big match tonight on Rampage against Darby Allin. Yeah. From a personal standpoint, all interrupting his promo aside, how excited are you to get in the ring with him, or whether it's him or what he signifies, of someone that is, an entire generation and a half away, 2 generations from your start of your career?
It's amazing. I think this is what I like to do. Not only working with the boys, is working with younger talent, because they're used to what today's product is, and I'm bringing something from yesterday's product. And trust me when I say that my era is a lot different than what these guys do these days, because there won't be a lot of flipping and diving and all kinds of things. There's going to be a lot of these right here. and no pun intended, but he's probably going to get the old Billy Gunn tonight, and that's not always a good thing.
Hey, listen, it's a lot of fun, and I think that's the cool thing about the way AEW is set up right now, that you're getting a lot of these clash of styles in the best way possible. I mean, styles make fights. That goes to boxing. That goes to MMA. That goes to your special guest right now. You know, so when you find out, hey, you're going to go back out there and you're going to get in the ring with insert young performer here. Now, tonight on Rampage, 10 o'clock on TNT, it's Darby Allin. But you've been in the ring with a lot of other young up-and-coming stars so far in AEW. When you get in the ring with them, do you have any semblance of nerves?
I always have. I always look at this. I've been doing this for 30-something years. And it's funny because we were just talking about this a couple months ago. I forget who I was talking to. They asked me because they some of these young kids get nervous before they go out there. And I said, hey, if that goes away, it means that you don't care. Because to this day, it's not a bad energy vibe or a bad feeling. It's a feeling of, I just want to make sure that it's really about making the fans happy and making them appreciate. I guess appreciate might not be the word, but to understand that, hey, you're going to see me, and I don't want them to see an old walk up me. Hence why I do what I do, is I want them to just be able to see me at a level that everybody's happy with. And I'm happy with my level. I feel if you don't have those nerves or have those butterflies to do the best that you can, that's really what it is I want to be able to perform and do the best that I can. And I think that's what makes the nerves come. But the minute I go through that tunnel, it all goes away.
Now, you mentioned being in the business for 30 years. Aside from right now, which I'm sure is high on the list, do you remember a time in your career where you were like, this should be illegal, how much fun I'm having, making good money, doing what I love? Is there a specific chapter?
Every time I go out there. I mean, every time I get to do what I do. Like, I was never really into this business. I wasn't the guy that grew up going up, one day I'm going to grow up and be a professional wrestler. That's not what my plan was. But the minute that I got into it and realized what it was, is they're paying me to act like a complete goof. And be me and turn it on. And I feel, I don't think there's any specific time as much as every time, because I'm truly blessed to be able to do this, because it is literally the greatest job in the world. And it has been really good to me because I've gotten to do all aspects, and I've gotten to go through a couple really good eras in wrestling. And that's, you can't really complain about that.
And man, listen, anybody that can do anything for 30 years that they love to do and get paid well to do it, regardless of whether you have terrible gimmicks or not. All right.
Because I've had a couple of those as well.
I wanna just name people, and we're gonna do word association. I'm gonna name a person, and you just gotta quickly say, what the person is. You could elaborate if you want or not. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Tony Khan.
A great boss. He's like a little kid. Awesome.
Triple H.
He's who he is.
Chris Jericho.
Longevity, and still on the top of his game.
Eric Bischoff.
Loser of the Attitude Era.
Rockabilly.
Awful. Awful.
Bryan Danielson.
Amazing.
Shawn Michaels.
The best all-around person in professional wrestling.
Bart Gunn.
Great friend.
I'm sorry. The Rock.
Electrifying. That's it.
I'm just gonna ask this very general question, and you can answer how you want. What happened in the summer of '99 between you and The Rock? Is it a chemistry thing? Like, could you pinpoint? Is it something to even pinpoint?
No, I'm not a singles guy. I'll admit that. I'm just not a, they a lot of people, I get on social media and everything else. Hey, you should have been this. You should have been that. No, I'm everything that I should have been. I'm happy with where I'm at. I'm not sour. I'm not bitter about anything that happened in my career. So what happened? There's nothing really that happened between me and The Rock. I mean, some guys you have chemistry, and me and Rock are good friends. I mean, and sometimes, and I thought what we did was okay. I just feel that I probably never gave 100%. I always give 100%, but I guess if you were to name it, it would be that I didn't go 100% into the singles thing, because that's just not me. I'm not really a singles guy. I love tags because I just feel that that's what my thing is. So I can't really pinpoint anything. It's just that I'm not a singles guy.
How big of a role does asthma play in your career?
I don't know if it's that, because I can manage it. I've been able to manage it okay. It's not something that I really think about or really hark about. It's just something I have, and you either deal with it or you just quit. I mean, I do, I have preventative inhalers and stuff, and I know how to manage my energy levels so I can, of course, there's going to be times where it's going to grab me, and I just got to be able to settle down and kind of grab it under control and then keep going. It's not something that I let stop me or keep me from doing what I do.
No, I think it's that type of response that could touch, the younger generation of people to realize, well, I have asthma, I can't do it. I have a friend who has really bad asthma, and it's just fascinating to me because when I first heard about you having asthma, I believe it was through Grilling JR. It was fascinating to me that something that a lot of people have around us, this guy has, and he's performing at the highest level. And I mean, maybe you have, maybe you haven't. You're not going into the corner, going under the stairs and taking 2 pumps and then rolling back in.
No, unfortunately, I can't do that. Although there are some nights I wish I could do that. But it's just managing it and knowing that it's there and it's present. You just, if you sit there and harp on it, it's just like anything. If you sit there and worry about it, then that's what's on your mind and not the job at hand of what I have to do. My job, first and foremost, is to entertain the people. People don't care that I have asthma. the only person that cares is me. So it's just finding ways to manage it and be able to keep it under control. That's all.
So I have 2 more questions, and we'll wrap up with, like I said, tonight, Rampage, TNT, 10 o'clock. You're going up against Darby Allin. Is there anyone that you kind of look at, whether it's on Twitter, Instagram, even in the AEW locker room, where you circle and you're like, I hope I can get in the ring with that person?
I mean, really, I really will get in there with anybody. There's not a specific person that, hey, I wish I could work with them. I love working with younger talent, and I love doing whatever I can pass down to help younger talent become superstars and become stars that I wish that they could feel, because there's a different feeling between going out there and getting reaction and going out there and getting emotional reaction. Emotional reactions come when people are invested in you as a person, not so much you as a wrestler. So whenever, and I feel that's what was so big about the Attitude Era, is everybody was invested in the people, in the person personally. And then once you give them the performance that you give them, they're to it 110% differently. And that's the hardest thing to let the younger kids understand is the personal feeling and letting them be emotional. Like, we don't, like, as guys and girls and stuff, we don't want to know that there's emotions in wrestling, but there really is. And once you tap into that, it's a whole nother level of what the fans can expect. But no, I want to work with everybody until at least for another year before I retire.
Man, the fact that you're still doing it is like mind blowing to me. Like, and I mean that in the most respectful, complimentary. I mean that in the most respectful, complimentary way. Now, my final question. I just got engaged about a month and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say is the best advice you can give me for this wedding planning process?
Patience. Patience. You have to have patience. Me and Paul, my wife Paula, have been together for a long time, and I've put her through everything, and she's still around for some reason. But it's just patience and being able, because it's not easy for me to be gone all the time. I secretly think she loves it. It's a give and take. You have to understand what they go through, and she has to understand what you go through in our job process and in life process. And it's not easy, but as long as you talk and you guys are on the same page, it goes a lot smoother. Because I actually, Will Hobbs just asked me for some advice in that area, which I have advice in everything because I've pretty much done everything. You have to understand that it's not easy for them too. I know we're on the road all the time and we go, hey, I'm on the road, I'm tired and all this. But yeah, so are they. They have no help around the house. So there's gotta be a little give and take. And yeah, when you're planning a wedding, yeah, that's very stressful.
Hey, like I say, it's a 7-year storyline that's getting a huge payoff, and someone's getting a payoff. It ain't me. This shit is not cheap, bro. But one more time tonight on Rampage, Billy Gunn against Darby Allin, 10 o'clock Eastern on TNT. I appreciate you. This was a lot of fun, man. Thank you.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. If you ever need me, please just let me know.